What's going on, Show Nation? It's Movie with Movie Gaming TV, and in today's video I'm going to talk about how many FPS I think MLB The Show 21 is going to be on next gen consoles, how many frames per second it's going to be. We also got a new March to October video to react to. That was the news that was dropped today. News usually drops on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so be on the lookout for videos about the newest news for MLB The Show 21. Let's start off by reacting to the March to October video, take a look at it, and let's see. I'm going to turn off the sound for the video. So the first couple parts, it's just mostly like, you know, it's like the little skit that they have with the coach and Fernando Tatis Jr. So we're going to skip through that. It says, come through in the season's key games and moments to propel your team to the postseason. When we get to the next part, here's some of the gameplay. It's PS4 gameplay that's captured on the PS5. So we still haven't seen anything that will be on the PS5 as far as like how the graphics look and stuff like that. I feel like all these videos in February with Coach and Tatis, they're all going to be PS4 footage captured on the PS5. That's just a pattern that I feel like all these videos, in my opinion, all these videos are for February, or most likely they're already done. They're not like, we're going to create this video this week, like 2 days ago. It's like, no, we created all of them and now we're just going to set them to be scheduled to be released. So the bottom here, let me see if I can make this easier to see. It says have even more control over your roster and make more impactful moves in your quest for the postseason. So I'm going to leave it up like this so you can read some of these as I read them, but have even more control over your roster and make more impactful moves in your quest for the postseason. We got Jose Ramirez sitting there. All right, so like here's a trade. We know we got Jordan Montgomery. So we're the Cubs in this situation. We would receive Jordan Montgomery. We send away Jason Vogel and Jason Adam to pick up Jordan Montgomery. And there we go. We got Jason Montgomery. Perform well for a season-long player boost. The team momentum influences your team's performance in the games and innings that are skipped. Success. Team momentum influences your team's performance in games and innings that are skipped. So if you're playing better when you do some simulations, you're gonna be getting more rewarded for that. All right, so here's a look at the new interface screen. It's in quote-unquote dark mode, which honestly I run dark mode on just about everything. On my Twitter, as you've seen already, I run it on my YouTube, I run it on Twitch. I personally like dark mode better. I just think it looks nicer. So pretty cool from an interface standpoint to see it in dark mode over here. And then also at the top here we got 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. Now they never cycle through these at the top in the sizzle reel video. They never cycle through them, which would have been interesting to see, because it's typically March to October is one season. That's kind of the point of it, is to play one quick season with the team. They talk about how it takes like maybe 12 to 13 hours to complete. And for it to have multiple years like this, does it mean you can have multiple years in your March to October? Is this referring to the contracts? You know, like this player signed through what year type of deal? Not exactly sure. I really wish I would have cycled through these, but obviously they probably weren't thinking about it for the video. Because I'm thinking about if like I made the video, you know, from like my perspective, I probably wouldn't have thought to like cycle through these at the top. I probably would have just tried to like display the screen. So I kind of feel like that's what they're doing here. But the dark mode looks cool. You can see the entire team. We got some like $ icons. This icon right here, I don't play a lot of franchise, so I'm not sure if those are coming over from franchise mode. But yeah, so that's the main thing that everyone's talking about, is this thing up at the top in the dark mode. Okay, the next thing they got, all right, so now instead of being on the Cubs, like let's just say we're on the Mariners, and one of the Mariners prospects is Julio Rodriguez. And it says up here at the top, I'll just read it for you. It says select a minor league player to play as. If they perform well, their attributes will increase. They may even earn a call-up opportunity. So we got Julio Rodriguez right here. He's a 64 overall, it looks like. And it says fast track the development of prospects by playing minor league games for more impactful call-ups. So maybe we'll be playing a minor league game with him to try to get him up to the big leagues So it looks like even there, like he's in his like minor league year. So it's like maybe in March to October, you're not just playing with, you know, the big league squad. You're actually going to play some minor league games as well to fast track some of your prospects. And let's see, congrats on calling up Julio Rodriguez. He goes to 69 overall. Fast track the development of prospects by playing. So if you want to get him up on the major league roster quicker and have more impact, hopefully like a better overall, you want to play some of those games instead of simulating those games. And then the end of the video is pretty much just Tatis Jr. dumping some Gatorade on the coach, and that's pretty much the end of the video. So March to October in general, I personally don't play the mode myself. I kind of feel like it's a mode like retro mode, where the first couple of years it was introduced, you know, we get a video on it, there'd be some talk about it, but then it kind of just fades into, you know, being a game mode that's not as like, I don't know, important's not the right word, but I feel like it's a mode that we won't probably see like a video on it necessarily unless they make some kind of major upgrade to it next year. They're just kind of highlighting a feature, and I feel like they're dropping this video at this particular time because they just want to save some of the more quote-unquote juicy stuff like franchise or Diamond Dynasty or Road to the Show for a little bit later. So it's good to just like kind of get this video out as an introductory type of video, talk about March to October. Now, the things I think that made people play March to October, outside of people that just want to play March to October, was when they did the double team affinity for Diamond Dynasty. It had a lot of people wanting to go over there and play because they could grind out the games and get their team affinity points, but at the same time, that's not really like, that's not why someone should play March to October just to get the stuff for Diamond Dynasty. They should really like kind of play it to enjoy the mode. So I don't particularly play it too much. It looks like it's got a little bit more depth now with the player call-ups and stuff like that. It's really just like for somebody that doesn't have the time to play an entire franchise all the way out. They just want that quick one season experience. Maybe there's going to be multiple years with the left trigger and the right trigger, as we saw at the top, with the ability to you know, go through multiple seasons. I mean, I don't know why it would have multiple seasons like that unless you're going to have multiple seasons. So we'll have to see on that, but that's pretty much what March to October is going to look like this year. Well, I'm sure we'll get more information on it in March, but if you're a March to October fan, that's kind of like what you're looking at. A lot of the discussion today has been about is this taken away from franchise, stuff like that. I don't know. I think it's just like I said, I think it's more like kind of a thing like retro mode. They want it to be a part of the game, and they're doing a little bit of promotion, a little bit of work on it. They like it, but I don't feel like it's going to be like a super main focus. It's just like another avenue for people to be able to enjoy the game in a different way, and they're trying to with the casual, the realistic, I think it's like casual, simulation, competitive. I think this is kind of like a game mode that's tailored toward the casual player that wants to hop on MLB The Show. All right, so now there's another thing. If we go over to the PlayStation blog today, so they have the video as well as like MLB The Show did, and they got this blog right here, you know, that I was able to click on. And the thing that I found the most interesting in the blog, you know, it's like, all right, here's the stuff to order. Here's some of the stuff we know, like be a 2-8 star, improve modes, streamline the MLB experience, tailor and focus gameplay, new experiences, new pitching mechanic. I don't remember that being there, but we talked about that in our last video. But what I noticed here is this star that said available only on the PS5. All right, so I went down and I saw PlayStation 5 features, and it says stunning visuals, more detailed stadiums, and smooth 60 FPS gameplay. And this caught my attention because they have not said yet, they have not said if the game is going to be on, if the game is going to be 120 FPS. What does that mean? Basically, it means the animation is going to be more fluid and more crisp and just a little bit faster. You're going to see more frames per second. So if you're at the plate and you're watching the ball come in, you'd be able to see it clear in 120 FPS, which so far with the PlayStation 5, it can do 120 FPS, but it really hasn't had a lot of games that have taken advantage of that. And I'm not really sure why that is. I don't know if we're gonna have to wait till like next year's game or games around this time for that to be more of a thing. But we have not really seen that a lot. We've seen a lot of stuff get upgraded from like 30 FPS to 60 FPS. So this is interesting though, just because they haven't said anything on it yet. And I don't think you would be typing, if you're typing this blog out, right? And you're talking about the PlayStation 5 features. And I don't think this is just in general for the PlayStation 5, because look, it says, hear the roar of the crowd all over you with the 360-degree audio. Feel the impact of every hit, catch, and collision through the DualSense wireless controllers. Immersive haptic feedback. I feel like this is a specific thing to MLB The Show 21. And 60 FPS will be great, because I swear I recorded at OBS and I've seen, like, I don't know if it was just the way I was recording. It probably was just the way I was recording, but I'm not sure if the game's ever been in 60 FPS before. I think it might have been in 30 in the past, so it is kind of an upgrade there. Would love to see 120 in some kind of an update, maybe in middle of the year, you know, maybe in the summer, if we could get some kind of an update to 120. But if we have 60 for this year, we have 60 for this year, and it kind of is what it is. Hopefully that will make things smoother in the major league stadiums, which have kind of been, you know, people will still play in the major league stadiums and all that, but online, people are really almost playing exclusively in minor league stadiums, because there were less fans in the minor league stadiums, so there's less assets to load up, and generally the game would play smoother. They had kind of an update towards the end of last year to try to fix that, and to try to make those games smoother. I felt like it just certain MLB stadiums weren't as good as other ones. Like, I felt when I played at Kauffman Stadium, it was fine later on. And then of course I've been playing on the PlayStation 5, but if you don't have the PlayStation 5 yet, it does load a little bit faster. Like, I've been playing a lot of Grand Theft Auto with one of my friends, and like, you know, everyone's pretty much played that game, so I think it's a good example to talk about. Like, when you go into that hoop to like load into like a new room or like the new thing, like, he's on PS4, the old PS4, not even the PS4 Pro, like the old PS4, and I'm on the PS5. Like, I'll load in about 10-15 seconds quicker than he will. So I feel like the PS5 is going to be able to handle the major league stadiums pretty well. But I would have liked to see him 120. I mean, I just think that's the standard where most PS5 games should be at. But I feel like that's kind of what the trend is right now. I think they're not going to push it to 120 yet until across the board. And this is not just MLB The Show, but I don't feel like even like 2K is not 120. You know, I think like Call of Duty might be 120. I'm actually pretty sure Call of Duty is 120, but there's not a lot of games that are getting 120. They're more getting like the 60 FPS right now. Maybe we'll see 120 in the future. So I would like to see it better, but it is what it is. They haven't released a statement on that, and I'm not sure as well. Now, if you're an Xbox player, and you know, I've been a PlayStation guy, so it's kind of like what avenues I know to follow. And as we go over to Xbox, if you're an Xbox person watching this, if you have a blog that you could link me to or anything like that, like send me a link over on Twitter at MovieGamingTV. That's kind of like this PlayStation blog. Let me know. But there's a chance it could be 120 over on Xbox. So I think Xbox is moving things to 120 quicker than PlayStation. So it might be interesting to see if it's going to be 120 over there. Just should make more animation, you know, just makes the animations more smooth. So again, this hasn't been confirmed by them, but I just feel like, why wouldn't, if it was going to be the possibility of 120, wouldn't you type 120? Wouldn't you oversell when you're trying to sell rather than undersell? Just something to think about. Anyways, that's our news for today for MLB The Show 21. Excited to get the game, and we will see most likely on Thursday when we get more information. Sometimes information comes out like that's when our scheduled releases are, or that's when it's scheduled to be released for information, but maybe we'll get some information at a different time. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, peace out.